Okay, so today we have Morrissey and Good Looking Man About Town. So that's an intriguing title. And I'm thinking, is Morrissey going to talk about himself here or what? But anyway, this was from, or is from the compilation album of Swords. It was recorded, I guess, during the mid 2000s. And I think it's the last song I have to react from that compilation album. So let's get into it, talk about it after less than 3 minutes. Let's go.
I'm not running away, I'm running to corruption of the spirit isn't in it for a good-looking man about town. Are you afraid of someone alive? Are you feeling heartbroken cause you'll never be mistaken for a good-looking man about town? Got your degree and then you flew to Mars, but you still feel wretched cause you've never been naked with a good-looking man about town. Are you afraid of someone alive? Are you scared to death of even looking at the flesh of a good-looking man about town? Hear the gang say, marry me, marry me. Hear the gang say, marry me, marry me. Hear the gang say, marry me, marry me. On the midnight streets, no moon and no stars, no one around to calm me down and to soften the stings to my heart. On the midnight streets, no moon and no stars, and no one around to calm me down and to soften the stings to my heart.
Nice use of that last picture there because it's over. My goodness. So, Morrissey and Good Looking Man About Town. So coming into this, I don't remember if I said it off the top or not, but I was thinking, is this going to be about him? Is this going to be about, I guess, somebody else? And that's what it seems like. In the lyrics, he changes perspectives, but by the end of it, I would think he is talking about himself, but we're not there yet at all. We're not looking at the lyrics yet. But I do want to say, I don't remember when it started, but through all the Morrissey songs I've listened to at this point, he started to like the style, the Middle Eastern style. This is another example of that from the get-go, with just the percussion, I guess I would say, the drumming as well, the wiry keyboard, I would think from Mike Farrell, but just the wiry sounds that start everything off and put you on your toes and keep you on edge kind of throughout everything until they do slow down about at the minute mark. But yeah, just so wiry, like I said, a whirling kind of sound, a heavy and intense sound throughout the whole thing. Except again when they kind of take a pause near the 1 minute mark, because I had to look at the timestamp because I didn't expect things to slow down, but then they did. But then everything picked up again and got fast. But yeah, just to talk about the fast drumming here, how frantic that sounds, how rhythmic that sounds, how kind of you can hear every thud, every hit that he's doing, and as well with the, like I said, the frantic guitar playing. I don't know, just again, it sounds like it seemed like when they were making this, they were just like, we got to go as quick as possible here. But Morrissey, I don't think he got the message and on purpose, because it seems like he's a little bit behind them. But it doesn't sound like, he's trying to catch up, like in the vocal booth, trying to catch up with everybody. But yeah, he just sounds a little bit more methodical. He sounds a little bit more wry or sly, perhaps. He sounds a little bit more like he's having fun with everything in the lyrics. Again, it seems like he's mocking whoever he's talking about, this guy, this wretched man, which we'll get to soon. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I like I was saying, I liked how quick it was. I liked how intense it was, how heavy everything was. The production here was just wild. Again, I feel like everything was just so in your face. It was a punchy song, and I didn't know what to expect, but I was taken aback a bit because, yeah, I didn't expect this to pack such a punch. I don't know. It's a B-side from one of the B-sides from the single, I do believe, You Have Killed Me. But yeah, it was just, I mean, my God, they were just going from once they, hit the studio, once they got going, everyone was just on their game, I guess. But anyway, yeah, like I said, Morrissey, though, liked his vocal work here, liked again how, like I was saying, he kind of was witty, he was humorous, he was funny, he was kind of mocking this person, he was relishing in this person's problems, I guess you would say, and I expect nothing less, I guess. But yeah, anyway, I didn't expect it to be so fast, and in a way, maybe it's just the intensity of it and just how heavy it was, and maybe if they polished it up, if they were going to put it on the album, if it was going to be a single, whatever the hell, if they polished it up and I guess increase that intensity in a way, or increase just that heaviness, or maybe it's just because I didn't have the headphones up loud enough, to get that feeling. But either way, I feel like they could have made it even more heavy. And in a way, it reminds me of like a song from The Prodigy, like a song like Breathe. And maybe that's just because of the music of this track, not really Morrissey's vocals, but just the music on this, because the music drives it. I mean, my God, the drums drive the song, the guitar drives the song, the wiry keyboards, whatever. You're just so, I don't know, it's just in your face. So anyway, I like the intensity, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I guess I can move on to these lyrics now, but let me scroll up here, my goodness, from genius.com, and there's not a bunch of lyrics, but they make me question what the hell's going on here, because there's not too much about this song on the internet, about the meaning of it all. But I'm thinking, are we talking about homosexuality here? Are we talking about a guy who's repressing those feelings? Are we talking about a guy who's living a lie? That can't be in Morrissey's wheelhouse to talk about these things, to write about those things. So anyway, I'm not running away. I'm running to Corruption of the Spirit Isn't in It for a good-looking man about town. So right away, it seems like this guy, this man he's talking about, this wretched man, is corrupt. That's what he represents. I'm not running away. I'm running to this. And I don't think Morrissey's talking about himself. Like I said, I think he's talking about somebody else here, running to and for a good-looking man about town. And then he talks about talking to this man, I guess. Are you afraid of someone alive? Are you feeling heartbroken? My goodness. And asking these questions almost with a shit-eating grin, I think, as they say. Because you'll never be mistaken for a good-looking man about town. He's being kind of rude, I guess you would say. And I thought from the get-go, from the first part, talking about I'm running to this good-looking man about town, but I guess he's not the good-looking man about town, because at the end of it, in the next part, he talks about how you'll never be mistaken for a good-looking man about town. And again, he's shifting perspective, so I'm just maybe a bit confused. I don't know, my goodness gracious. And then we go on. But again, those questions he's asking, are you afraid of someone alive? Are you feeling heartbroken? He's happy this guy's in, living hell, I guess. You got your degree, then you flew to Mars. Well, my God. But you still feel wretched because you'll never be naked with a good-looking man about town. And it seems like this guy, he's got, from the outside, he looks good. He's got his degree. He flew to Mars, whatever that means. He can fly anywhere. He's done so many different things. He's checked off some boxes on his to-do list, whatever the hell. But at the end of the day, he still feels wretched because maybe he just can't escape the societal norms, you might say, or just who he actually is. Again, I think about homosexuality, because then we talk about at a later part when he talks about, hear the gang say, marry me. I think about the gang. Is that like another word for hear the women, wanting to marry this guy, but he can't do that because that's not the people he's into. Anyway, let me just go on to the next part though. Before that, either way, the guy still feels wretched, and because I'll never be naked with a good-looking man about town. Are you afraid of someone alive? Are you scared to death? Again, Morrissey asking the real questions here, some profound questions anyway. of even looking at the flesh of a good-looking man about town. And when you talk about a town, I feel like maybe we're talking about a small town, and this guy's good-looking, and maybe those people aren't easy to come by in this town. So this guy's a hot commodity. He could have anyone he wants, any woman he wants, but maybe he doesn't want that. And, you know, again, that's not what he's into. But he's scared to say that he's not into that because, again, maybe this town looks down upon homosexuality. I'm really going off of this homosexuality thing, so I don't know if that's really what's happening here or not, but that's what comes to my big fat head. Anyway, it seems like this guy is afraid to escape whatever it is. And then we go on, like I was talking about, hear the gang say, marry me, marry me. Of course, any woman here wants to marry this guy, but again, he doesn't seem to be into that at all. And then this last part really kind of makes me question what's going on here, but he talks about on the midnight street, no moon and no stars. So no light at all, just pitch blackness, I guess you would say, during the nighttime. And that seems to represent what's going on in this guy's mind, who seems, again, confused, or he doesn't want to talk about what's really going on or reveal himself to other people. His real self, I guess. Yeah, no one around to calm you down. Again, no one around to understand what you're going through. No one to calm you down. You're just fighting this battle on your own. And again, Morrissey seemed to be liking that. And to soften the stings to my heart. So again, he kind of inserts himself in there. We have multiple perspectives, I think. Anyway, to soften the stings to my heart. That's a very Morrissey line, and I can only imagine how many stings he's taken to his heart. And then we go on to the end. The last two lines: "The dream is sand in my hands. The dream becomes sand in my hands." So I feel like if Morrissey's talking about himself here, he kind of finds out that this whole thing has kind of been ironic because Morrissey doesn't find his dream at the end of all this either. Neither of them kind of make out good or well or whatever the hell. It's a bittersweet ending at the end of the day for everybody. I mean, for the people that want to marry the guy, for Morrissey, for the main guy. Again, there's so many different perspectives from what I got, but I don't know, maybe I'm looking into it too much because from what I was looking at, there's not too much about the song, not too many people talking about the meaning, I guess. So anyway, maybe I'm just going too hard, but either way, it was an intense, heavy track. Where again, Morrissey seemed to be having a lot of fun. He was witty as hell, and like I said, some funny lines, some quotable lines, and so. And at the end of the day, it's a very Morrissey ending to the track. The dream is sand in my hands. The dream becomes sand in my hands. It slips away like everything else. So, what else would you expect? No really good conclusion came out of it. So I guess that's all I got to say. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, coming back to another Morrissey Friday. And I guess that's all. So thanks for watching. Talk to you again soon.